20 games under Thomas Frank now, and we're still seeing no style, no philosophy, no coaching, no identity, no idea what his best 11 is, and only one win at home. We're nearly in December. One win at home. And that was against newly promoted Burnley on the opening day of the season. In fact, I think all our home wins this season, you're looking at Burnley, Copenhagen, a scrape against Villarreal, and Doncaster Rovers. Listen, I'm not one to get into these manager in, manager out discussions and debates, but this manager is truly starting to look like he's out of his depth. He is looking like a fish out of water in this job. It seems like game to game, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what his best lineup is. He doesn't know how to get the best out of this team. That first half performance, and the funny thing is, I could sit here and say that was the worst first half performance I've seen this season, but I've seen that maybe 6 or 7 times this year. Against Wolves. So many teams this season, against Chelsea, North London derby. So many times we have seen first half performances like that. And then we try and do the typical thing of trying to change it around, get a few subs in, tweak the system, and too little, too late. So many times I've sat here and said, too little, too late. That system we were seeing in the second half with Xavi in the 10, Odegaard on the left, that's what we should have been seeing from the start. I understood the 4-4-2 system midweek against supreme reigning European champions PSG. But when I'm coming home game against Fulham, why am I setting up in 2 banks of flat 4s? Why? Why is it every time I start to feel like a player in this team is starting to get a bit of rhythm, they just get yanked out the side? Odegaard, Xavi Simons, he's been sat on the bench now for 3 games. Udogie gets a little run, take him out. Pape Sarr gets a little run, take him out. Bergvall gets a little run, take him out. These players aren't even able to build any rhythm.
I just don't know. I don't know for this club. I don't know for this club, man. I don't know for this club. Fulham have not beaten Tottenham at our ground since 2013. Since the days of Dimitar Berbatov himself at Fulham was the last time they had won at this ground until today. Until today. And then, hear this. Fulham have lost every single Premier League away game they've played. I think they've lost all but maybe one. But they haven't won until today. Until today. And they deserve 3 points. They deserve 3 points. And to be honest, we're lucky it wasn't more in the first half. Things can happen. Games, circumstances, momentum, a lot of things can happen in a football game that derails you from your base plan. But if your base plan is not sturdy, you will not find a way to get back into the game. You won't. And I just want to say this before I start, yeah? Because before I start, I know people will say you have no right to say this, you have no right to say this. What about the other fans who are paying? What about the other fans who are paying? Bro, I will say it because I'm paying too. What I saw in that game today, after the mistake Vicaria made, our own fans booing his every touch. You're trying to see our team win a game of football and you're booing his every touch. Shame on you, bro. Shame on you. Honestly, disgrace. Absolute disgrace. What's booing him gonna do? Is that gonna make him play better? You boo his touch. Oh yeah, we have to let him know that what he did was wrong. Yes, what he did was wrong, and the whole team got booed at halftime. The whole team. But when you're booing a man's every touch, how is that going to inspire or instill confidence in a player that you want confidence in after the mistake he's made? Think about it. And then man are just sitting there. You're quick to boo, but when it's time to get behind the team, you're quiet. But anyway, let's get back onto the game because we're losing at home to Fulham. And we've played Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Aston Villa, Man United, Chelsea, and now Fulham. We've played 7 home matches and we've lost We've lost 5 of them. And we've only won once, and that was the opening game of the season. That is an absolute disgrace. That is embarrassing. That's absolutely insane. Where's the upside?
Thomas Frank should be sacked. Thomas Frank isn't a good enough manager. That is what the masses are saying. I'm not going to lie. I've just come back from the pub. I've watched the Spurs game with a lot of my friends. All of us sitting down there thinking, what could we have done better? What could we have changed? Why are we 2-0 down to Fulham inside 6 minutes? 6 minutes we're 2-0 down to Fulham. And that is home defeats to Fulham, to Chelsea, to Bournemouth, narrowly beating Villarreal, narrowly getting a draw against the Wolves. In recent results, we've lost to Fulham, Arsenal, PSG, and we've got Newcastle United away next. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't necessarily want Frank sacked. However, if we're calling a spade, looking at the current results we've got, looking at the fixtures we've got coming up, I said this the other day on the football terrace, I don't think he will make Christmas. How the f***? Let's just call it for what it is. How the f*** are you losing to Fulham at home? They have got 1 Premier League point away from home before they play us. And then Robin Hood turns up and we go, there you go. Congratulations to Fulham and Marco Silva, because you will not get an easier 3 points. You score a couple of goals, you sit back and park the bus. And do you know what? At this point in time, I don't blame you.
Take the likes. Bun this guy. 550 likes or a Spurs equaliser. I take the likes. I want Frank out. I swear that anything I can do to get this waste man out my club, get him out. Get him out. I'll take the 550 likes. Bigger Artillero. You get me? Chelsea fans is laughing. This is the truth. At this stage, I take the likes, man. I'm done with this guy. I swear, Dan. Do you know what I mean? It's rubbish. Because if we were to draw, it's fraudulent. This guy will say it's character. He's a liar. It's lucky. We drew with United. It was luck. I'll be real. It was luck. We didn't deserve to even go into the lead. Hey, Jordan says he's gone. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. Yeah, we got slapped tonight, bro. We got slapped. I can't even lie. Finished. Finito. Man got me speaking Italian. You get me? Hey, Arsenal Manic. What are you saying? Man's taking...
You've got to laugh, haven't you? I've just done a TikTok. That was a bit late. And as I've now put in the title of this, we could get relegated, lads. This could be 1978 all over again. It really could be. I mean, loads of you have already put great comments in. Jordan Hussein has just said it's Nuno all over again. That's exactly what it is. I was saying it in the watch along. It's like Nuno. It's exactly like Nuno. He's out of his depth. And so I'm sorry, Thomas, you've got to go. You're a better speaker than Nuno. You're a better communicator, but you can't get a tune out of these guys. You cannot get a tune out of these guys. Prima Talia says Spurs are not going to get relegated. If you can't win at home, I'll trust you, the away form will stop. The away form will stop. And maybe it'll stop as soon as Wednesday. It certainly stopped at the Emirates. I'm just going to stay on this feed for a long time and I'm just going to wallow in this, to be honest. It's going to be a hell of a hate watch for some, Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham fans or whatever. But talk to me in the comments, guys, about why Tottenham are so bad at this stadium that we built for ourselves that is designed for us to push on. And instead, it's just like we lay out the red carpet for these teams on and off the pitch. I cannot believe it.